Three, two, one. Hi, Tom.
Hey, good morning, Vivian.
Good morning. It's exciting to have the opportunity to interview you and learn more about the newly developed class called Data Science Business Cases. So, would you mind give us and the audience an overview about this component?
Sure. And let me actually start by sharing my screen here. There's a chart that I think is very important for us to look at as I have this discussion, right? So most sort of data science professional, data analyst type courses, curriculums, education systems, they really focus on the tools, how to do the wrangling, how to do the acquisition, how to do maybe some of the exploration, aggregations, these sorts of things. And if it goes into the full machine learning side, maybe some models, ranging in complexity or whatnot. And if you look at this flow chart, that really means that the current state of sort of data science professional education lands very heavily weighted towards the bottom right corner, right? This is really where a lot of the education system lands. And we realize this need, and we see it on the job market. We realize it by talking to our alumni and by talking to industry professionals. There's this need to fill out this workflow that a data science professional would see on the job, right? And where are we lacking is this upper left corner. Can we take domain need, translate that into some sort of a data science professional task, some sort of question that we can answer through data and through analysis? And then once we do our analysis, can we take the results of that and derive actionable insights or value to feed back into the business or the corporation or the stakeholder, whatever it is where we're trying to derive it? But can we really understand the value of the work we're doing based on the tools that we are learning or have learned, but can we take that and make value from it for the business side? And so what this course is supposed to do is really fill in this missing piece, this missing link here into the workflow of a data science professional. That's where we're aiming, and we're going to do it via a sort of a survey of business cases across several industries such as finance, healthcare, marketing. Of course, we won't go super deep in any of them because that's in itself an entire curriculum, but enough so that we can change our paradigm. We have this shift to ask the question how to bring value and how have people brought value through questions that can be answered in sort of the data science or data science toolkit.
Sound good. How long is the class, and how quickly you're going to touch on each industry? As you mentioned, you're going to introduce healthcare, finance, and a few other case studies.
Sure, that's an excellent question. Let me actually share my screen again then for this one with a outline of sorts, our syllabus here of the course itself. So this is going to be a 40-hour course in total. In fact, let me expand my screen here so it's a little easier for me. And there's going to be sort of broken into 5 sections. The first section is going to give this overview. It's going to try to just discuss how important the upper left part of that diagram is and do it through a very, very quick survey of many different directions that have been gone and could be gone, like could be traveled to try to bring value through the new tools that you have built up in a data science course or data analyst course. And so that's sort of the first lecture. The second one comes into more of the marketing side and gives you an idea of some case studies there. The third one going maybe into healthcare and pharmaceuticals, and the fourth one dealing with finance. And this is, so each industry is going to get a day lecture for 3 days. So marketing, healthcare, finance, they're going to get a day lecture. Again, not super deep, but rather just discussing the case study. We're not going to try to build out new tools. We're going to try to see how these tools are being used, right? And so that's what the discussion are. But we don't want to limit our students either to just the specific cases that we find. We also ask them to find a few cases themselves, with some direction, and so that they can present it to their peers, they can think about it themselves, and they can start changing that paradigm. They can start asking questions in a direction that is more centered on bringing value to business, bringing insights from discovery within data. And so they, as in tandem with our lectures, are sort of student discovery as well, and exercises in that direction. And then this culminates in the end to them creating a proposal. This would be a project that they would carry out, and hopefully could carry out, that they can see, at least in a goal-oriented way, what would bring value in a certain industry, what would bring value for a certain audience, and they propose a project to do. And of course, this is a great way to start any project anywhere in this course, in business, when you go get that job, right? And so the hope here is one, they start understanding how to ask questions and how to find value, and two, they have an outline now to face new projects or new quests on the job, so that they have some sort of a guide, a map, to help them start that journey. And of course, these things are dynamic, these things change, but I think having some sort of an overview, this sort of map, this schematic, is really going to be valuable.
That's awesome. Sounds like the outcome of the class is the student will be able to develop their own business case study outline and have a chance to implement them in their capstone project. Is that correct?
That is correct. So the students in the newly developed sort of business analyst bootcamp, right? This bootcamp that's specializing in business analysis, they will have a capstone at the end, right? This is the big project to sort of illustrate everything that they have learned, and this capstone that culminates in the business cases, this capstone proposal, will hopefully be used as the guide for their capstone project. That's the intention of it. Those that are going to go on into the data science with machine learning track as well can still use this proposal. They might find new insights. They might find a new direction by the time they hit their capstone project a few weeks later, but they can still use this outline, this paradigm, this map, this schematic to help bring direction to where they're going with their capstone project also. So that's absolutely right. This is really, I mean, on one side, just to hand them a schematic so that they can keep it in their back pocket when they go to their job, when they're thinking about a new project. But on the other hand, it helps them develop a project, for their portfolio, but also so that they can do it from the perspective of how do I bring value, rather than what tools are sort of do I want to use.
Got it. So who do you think would be the ideal audience for this class?
Honestly, I feel every person trying to transition into a data science type profession should take this course. I think that this is the again, the missing link in that data science professional workflow from that diagram that we were showing. So I think that this is sort of an invaluable skill set to have when you face the job market, or when you even go get into that new position, because this is telling you how, this is at least giving you instances, cases of how to bring value to that company, to that industry. And of course, all we learn, all these tools, they aren't for the tools themselves. They are to bring value somewhere, to discover new things and understand how to use those discoveries in a meaningful way. And so anybody transitioning into a data science profession would benefit greatly from seeing how to apply the tools in real scenarios. And when you let the scenario itself dictate which tools you use, rather than let the interest in the tool itself be what dictates where you go.
That's wonderful to hear. I also know that data science business cases is part of the newly released Data Analytics Bootcamp. So my two last questions is, are you excited about the new program? And what are the other new development work you have done for the new program?
Sure. So I don't know if it's been obvious in my flailing of appendages here, but I'm quite excited about the business cases. This is again, I think a missing link in most curriculums for from the data science professional side. But on top of this, I've been working heavily on revamping, updating, and keeping contemporary our Python data analysis and machine learning side of things in the data analysis bootcamp, and for the data science with machine learning bootcamp. And this is, for several reasons, but one is we are constantly getting feedback from our alumni that are placed about what's more relevant these days, what is hot, what is not, what questions are being asked, and we can keep incorporating that into the curriculum. And that way, everybody that is going through this curriculum can see a very contemporary landscape of the tools that they will need out there on the market. This is excellent. The same thing is happening with our language with Luke, one of our other instructors. He's taking this feedback as well, where R is being used, where its strengths are, where we can sort of juxtapose when you might use Python, when you might use R, these two language questions, so to speak. And we are keeping this curriculum updated and contemporary and revamping. And I am quite excited about the whole change. Yeah.
Awesome. I really appreciate the interview, and thank you so much for the insight for the newly launched components and the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm always excited to talk about it.
Awesome. I'll ping you more to bring the audience more insight with the development.
Yeah, absolutely.